because the Donald Trump trial in New York is ongoing. It's been completed. All of the final submissions have been made. And yesterday we did see the jury go out to start their deliberations. How soon they come back? Well, we shall wait and see. But depending on what the judge told them in his final directions, will that affect what he has to, what the verdict is? And will that affect his chances of getting into the White House? And who he might then employ at the White House. Nigel Farage, being suspected as one of possible future employee, possibly even one Elon Musk. Well, let's talk about this with Amy Tarkanian, who's a Republican strategist and former chair of the Nevada Republican Party. Good morning to you, Amy.
Good morning.
Thank you. Let's talk first of all about the trial. There's been a lot of uproar about, not just Robert De Niro in his stacked heels coming up and sort of shouting about the end of democracy and dictators and the like outside the trial, but also the direction that the judge gave to the jurors before they went into the jury room.
Sure. Well, we're on day 2 of deliberations, and actually the jurors have requested to have that repeated all over again, amongst 3 other requests dealing with wanting to see if there was any cooperation between David Pecker, who ran the National Enquirer, and Michael Cohen, who was the attorney and fixer for Donald Trump. And so we are now going to see, hopefully, with these questions being asked, a very thoughtful jury, a jury who's not quick to rush to the judgment of an individual, in making sure that their answer in either conviction or acquittal will be 100% the correct response.
Yeah.
And I think that it was a good sign that the jurors asked for these specific
I
requests.
think that I sat on a jury trial last year, and we all had lots of different questions to ask just to clarify things. And it doesn't mean people haven't been paying attention; they just want to understand the context. But some of the concern has been from people watching it that the judge basically sort of told the jurors, and he had a big long booklet about summarising everything, but didn't give that to them, like 50 pages, but to talk them through it. But he said, basically, you don't have to even agree, although they have to have a unanimous verdict. You don't have to agree on what specific thing you think Donald Trump did among all the charges that made him guilty. You just have to agree whether he's guilty of any of the charges, effectively, and then you can find him guilty. A lot of Republican Trump supporters very unhappy with that direction.
Well, they can be unhappy with it, but the law is the law at the end of the day. And you just mentioned the lengthy instructions that the judge had to give to the jurors the other day. What's crazy is, according to New York law, they're not even allowed to have a handheld copy to go over. They're only allowed to take notes. They're not even allowed to take notes on a laptop, for example. So a lot of this is having to go back through your own memory, which is pretty crazy, because you saw in the first, not in the first day, but in the last day of the trial with closing arguments, they had to sit there for a very long time. I think it was roughly 7 or 8 hours of having to regurgitate everything that they just went over for the last 6
all the
weeks.
way into the evening as well. And it's a lot, again, having sat on a jury, it's a long day, just sort of sitting there trying to, this is really important. Someone might go to prison. You've got to pay attention, but you're thinking, oh, can I have a break, please? Well, it's going to be fascinating. We will wait and see what the result is of that. Again, it may be a guilty verdict, a not guilty verdict, may well be a hung jury. I think a lot of people are saying that seems likely. But whether or not this has any impact on whether Donald Trump can win the presidency is another matter or not. But lots of talk about what he would do if he were elected, and particularly who would employ. Talk of Nigel Farage being involved in the campaign, possibly having some sort of job, which would be set the cat among the pigeons for a lot of people here in the UK. But also, apparently, Donald Trump is considering giving Elon Musk a plum advisory role if he wins. He's understood to have discussed how to give the billionaire Tesla chief executive influence over key policies, including border security and the economy. What do you make of that?
Sure. Well, he actually sat as an advisory position at one point in Trump's administration, but he left in 2017. So it didn't last for very long because of a disagreement when President Trump decided to pull out of the Paris Climate Accords. I think it's promising that Trump is looking, though, at individuals who are known to be more intelligent, people who are definitely more concerned with our safety, wanting to make sure that, as you mentioned, immigration has been a big concern of Elon Musk's. He talks about it quite frequently on X. He's also mentioned the Democrats' woke policies, and he has admitted that he voted for both Hillary and Biden over Trump, but that he now no longer wants to support the Democrat Party because he sees them as the party of hate and divisiveness. He obviously is a very intelligent individual. It would be lovely for President Trump to surround himself with intelligent individuals and get rid of a lot of these grifters that he has held on to for so long. So I think it's a positive.
Yeah, except again, I think we know people like Elon Musk, they're not very good at working for other people. I think we always know that. That could be quite interesting to watch, could it not? Really good to talk to you. As always, Amy Tarkanian, a Republican, a strategist. Thank you for joining us.